Hey y'all, the real Jimmy Roberts one here. The more I look at these rover images, the more I realize just how ridiculous this whole charade is. Or is it? Because it seems to be working. Most people still think these images are totally legitimate, when in reality, they're legitimate rubbish. Then again, most people haven't really given it the chance because they don't care to really look. Now, how can anyone with a serious geologic background look at these images closely and not realize that we're dealing with something far more extraordinary than sedimentation? Oh, and I'm not saying that it doesn't occur on Mars. No, no, no. I'm saying that this is not what we're looking at in most of these images. This is a grand illusion being cast upon us. And you do realize that people that are working within the business of science, when they recognize this tomfoolery, or maybe just look closely enough to realize that something is wrong, they can't say anything out loud, not publicly. It's been this way for a long time, unfortunately. But now, in this day of labeling people as conspiracy theorists simply for going against a narrative, when we have a media that is more intent on demonizing specifics that don't fit a narrative than in finding and reporting the truth, this is what I have to say.
Oh, piss off.
We are being completely fooled by these rover images to an extent that is sometimes far greater than I previously suggested. And I suggested quite a lot. But what we're doing is looking for the mistakes, or perhaps they're not mistakes. Maybe they're intentional. I don't know. But they are there. We're on the lookout for objects that aren't completely disguised by NASA's computer software. And sometimes, if the paint isn't spread on too thick, you can see that there's something beneath it. And this includes evidence of a written language. Here's a rover curiosity mosaic from Sol 528. Now, most people watching this production have likely seen it. It's a place they decided to call Dingo Gap. The bottom is what they call Moonlight Valley, which is stocked full of evidence, but let's stay up here on the left side, which is the south wall of Dingo Gap, where we found something interesting. Now, this is the right mast cam mosaic from Sol 529. Look closely, and you'll find something bleeding through the NASA-induced masking. There's more there, it seems, too, but this is all we could feel confident in highlighting. But, this isn't our nor your imagination, and it's no anomaly. I don't believe in the whole anomaly hunting genre. These aren't anomalies. These are what we should expect to see if the pictures were not being falsified. Did we just see evidence of a written language? Guess what? There's more. Sol 1272 amongst the muck and debris strewn about. Check this out. Now, the symbols may be attached to that long piece resting just below them. Where did this come from? Well, perhaps it came from the destruction seen at the top right of this scene. Sol 1367. Only the most committed, skeptical delusionist can deny this without reservation. And we find this. Sol 153, right mast cam. Very near, looking nearly directly below the rover. Sol 1352. Just ignore the fact that there's a chocolate covered shovel sticking up from a pancake stack of rocks. Now back to Sol 528 where we started, that same Dingo Gap, but this time the north wall. Now I don't know if that's really a face, though it looks like it from this angle. I'm more interested in this. Aside from the basic outlines and some of the details that do get through, folks, we are not looking at what we think we are looking. Sound crazy? These aren't rocks. None of them are. For example, this object has been sprayed with a can of instant BS. Just add fools. And with the heat turned up high, you can actually see the treatment. You know, this should be against laws pertaining to the mistreatment of the human mind. We should be hearing Sarah McLaughlin about now, but in place of the abused animals, insert you, me, all of us. Since when did it become acceptable to reasonable human beings that rocks should look like this? Come on, man. In an afterthought, that headstone-looking object we just viewed with the writing on it, here it is again, the picture taken 2 Martian days later, but from the same spot. Where is the inscription? It's erased, y'all. Another example of how the obfuscation process doesn't necessarily apply itself in the same manner from image to image. I gotta tell you, it's not hard to look at Martian Missy. And she's also given us a pretty good size reference right here. And check this out. Now, that object in the center is about 20 inches in length, and I believe it's got markings on it. What, can't see them? My bad. Let's look at the nav cam image. Now, here I do say non-masked on the right, but more accurate might be not masked in the same manner. So you may ask yourself, why should I think this is anything other than a rocky Martian hillside? Well, have you ever seen a concrete building that has collapsed or a parking lot that's been ripped up? You'll usually see something we call rebar sticking out of it, which actually stands for reinforcing bar. We see it in concrete and masonry all the time, and I believe we are seeing it right here, right now, on Mars. Now, that's not rebar. What is that? If you'll look in this area, you'll find the reinforcements protruding in evenly spaced intervals. Just the general overall appearance of the area, even without what we just detailed, should alarm you. Now, this looks like masonry too, but remember, we cannot trust the outer layer of what we see. That could easily be some other type of material beneath the lies. So if you'll look at this with an open mindset, the picture of a catastrophe that involved intelligent human beings who built a civilization becomes apparent. Just ask yourself, is that just a rock? Just how ridiculous are the people who feel good when they berate our efforts? Look at that. Does that look like a rock to you? Ignorance can befall upon even the most intelligent of people. So let's look at one more thing in the bottom right-hand corner. Now this object, this block-looking thing, is about a 1 by 1 foot object, and look at this. Now to me, it looks like some type of concrete anchor, and it's coming out of the surface in perpendicular fashion. We know because we looked at it in stereoscopic 3D. It is real, folks. Stop by and see us at marsfam.net, and also come over and visit our other channel, World of UFOs Official. See y'all in a few weeks.